Are you ready to turbocharge your editing with artificial intelligence? Let's get to it. All right, everybody, welcome back. Today we're going to check out a new AI tool called Evoto. Maybe you've heard of it, maybe you haven't. New to me. And this is a tool that is meant not for the beginner, not for the novice. This is really focused on retouching. And so it's not going to replace Lightroom, it's not going to replace Photoshop, but it is one of those tools that I am quickly learning that you're going to have in your toolbox that is going to enhance and quicken your retouching efforts. Look, average retouch for me and my team is between an hour to 2 hours. That's skin, beauty, eye enhancement, removing distractions from the background. I started playing around with Evoto and I was done in under 5 minutes. And I know this sounds too good to be true. You're thinking to yourselves, no way. But this tool is absolutely incredible. So I'm gonna show you some of the before and afters. I'm gonna show you on my images. Now again, I will also highlight some of the pitfalls of the tool on where you're going to have to fill the gap, so to speak. So like I said when I opened up, this is not a tool that's going to replace Lightroom by any stretch of the imagination, but it is a tool that will quickly allow you to apply batch retouching on your images, something that no other tool that I'm aware of can do. So Lightroom can't do this, Photoshop cannot do this. This is more than just removing blemishes and enhancing eyes. This is about applying beauty retouching and background swaps, I mean all sorts of things across a batch of images. And so you are talking about saving hours upon hours of time. So let's jump right into the tool. And so on the Evoto website, you can see they're really geared towards retouching, and I'm gonna show you some of these features. But beyond the basics of like color adjustments, we already have this in tools like Lightroom. But beyond those basics, what you're gonna end up getting is the ability to sync those edits, presets to get started with, and then background adjustments, advanced color editing, and portrait retouching on steroids. I've never seen anything like this, so I'm just excited. I wanna show you guys some of this. So I'm gonna show you 3 images. 2 are type portraits, 1 is a full body. And on one of the images, I'm actually gonna show you what I spent 2 hours retouching compared to this with a few clicks. It's quite annoying, honestly. All right, so here's first image. This is straight out of camera, this is a raw file. Now this will be one of the things you have to get used to. There are no round trips between Lightroom and Evoto. Now in the future version, I would hope they would work on that because that's a normal photography workflow, right? I've got a catalog of images. I don't want to beauty retouch every image necessarily, so I don't want to use Evoto as a catalog. So right now, the way I'm using it is 1 image at a time as I want to edit it. And so as you can see, nothing's been done. It's a well-exposed image. On the right-hand side, you're seeing all the dials are set to 0, right? So if I had to make some exposure adjustments, HSL, curves, I can do that in here on a raw image. And that's what we're working on right now, but it'll work on a raw image, a TIFF image, JPEG, and a few other formats. As we get into the retouching on the right-hand side here, right? So right now we're into color adjustments, but once I click on face, it's going to recognize that it's a male, a female, a kid, or senior, right? And so you can go from there, you can click on face to find the face. And so that's the AI part of this, right? Because the hardest part is recognizing where the face and hair and hands and body and hips and legs, that's where the AI is coming into play here, so that when you're making these adjustments, not only is it making the adjustment to that body part, it's making sure that the other pieces around that body part still look good. Okay, so right here, as we zoom in a little, nothing's been done. This is straight out of camera. You've got all these dials on the right-hand side, none of which we're gonna focus on right now. I'm going to just click a preset for this. So they've got a whole bunch of presets here on the left. One of my favorites is this high end. Single click on that, AI kicks in, and you can see it's just a very subtle edit. So if we look at the before and after, right, it enhances her eyes a little bit, brightens her face a little bit. It's pretty clean and simple. Now imagine being able to batch this across all images. That's powerful if you're working on a job where everyone has to look the same. Now, maybe it's just not clicking for you yet. So check out something like this. If I came in on the right-hand side here, and let me zoom in on her face a little bit. Now, these are pieces you have in Photoshop, right? If you want to go in and make her eyes bigger, lips bigger, it's pretty rudimentary at this point compared to what Evoto is doing. And so as I come in here, I can make her eyes a little bit brighter, but I can also adjust her lips. Now, mind you, that's also possible in Photoshop to adjust her lips. But what's happening in Photoshop is there's no way to sync across all those images, right? Now you're saving it as another layer, so you have to go into that tool. Here, we can actually sync this across all images. I think that's pretty powerful. So here I can make her mouth a little bit wider. I could, a whole bunch of other features. You can go to eyes, eyebrows. It's just stupid. Watch this. So as we go into her eyebrows here, so you've got multiple ways to adjust her eyebrows. So we come up here, I can adjust thickness of her eyebrows, right? Distance, tilt, give them more arch. Is stupid. This is absolutely stupid. Raise them a little bit. Maybe she's super surprised. Okay? But I can also come down here and change the type of eyebrow, the hair. So look what's changing here. So these are all presets. Then we can come in, add blush. So this tool is an advanced tool. It's a very powerful tool, but it's allowing me to get a look on a job. I'd have to normally paint this stuff in. Now I can sync this across all my images from this job, from this set. If I come in and let's go eyelashes, this is also crazy. Look at her eyelashes. Now it just made them that much more impactful. You can control the amount, right? You can soften it, add it in. It just makes me crazy. If you've done retouching, you know what I'm talking about. This is a tool that is going to save me a ton of time in retouching. So that's just high level on this particular image, right? We can warm her skin up a little bit. Okay, so now if we zoom out here, one of the other powerful features of this, especially if you're a headshot photographer. Now imagine you're doing headshots. I don't want to sit here and edit each individual image. I just want to go through this and be done and sync all those settings. Your lighting's the same, right? Blemish removal is the same. Skin softening is the same. So now what you can end up doing here is you click on here on the right, and this is your backdrop. We can say click to add a solid backdrop. And what you now have is the ability to pop her off. Look at the masking on this. This is stupid. This is incredibly powerful on that masking. You can't tell me you can tell. And so if you're doing headshots now, this is so incredibly powerful with minimal effort to be able to do this and create something that's truly unique. Now, not only that, we can adjust edge, right? So you have some control over the masking there. Right, we can just put her on a white background. We can just put it on a transparent background. Now, this is also something that's very important. How many times have you taken a shot in studio, but you need this on something else, right, where it's transparent? Now we're doing it, right, very, very quickly. You also have the ability here to add your own backgrounds. So if you wanted to pop this onto another background, you could do that. All right, so now let's go to another image. I hope you guys are impressed. Okay, so here's another image. Okay, let's reset this for you. So what these dials are doing, once you set them, okay, they're going to apply across the board. And so normally I probably wouldn't reset all this. I just want you guys to see it pretty much with nothing, all right? So if we go here, now we're seeing the image that is the raw file. Now I will show you, this is my edit. So this edit, you can see it's a TIFF file. This took me probably about an hour to retouch and get this image to look the way it does, okay? This was the raw file. So one of the things you're gonna do here, and this is a little bit different than what you're used to, the way it works, because if I hit a preset, so let's say I do something here and I work off a preset, the preset will wipe out your basic edits. I think that's gotta be addressed in future versions here. So for example, let's say I get this all toned and brightness right, and everything tonality-wise is looking the way I want, right? Let's give it a little more vibrance. But now I come over here and I click on that high-end preset, all my tonal adjustments are gone. Wipes them all out because it resets it to whatever it was in that preset. So that makes their presets a little more difficult to use in that case, right? So you have to go back to starting from zero in that case. So you just got to be aware of that, right? That's a little bit different in the workflow. So what I like to do is I'm going to come in and I'm going to try and get this to look the way I want, right? Contrast, shadows, some blacks, add some clarity, right? So very similar to probably your current workflow. All right, you can do some HSL work. And you can see we're changing the color of the lips, add some sharpness. All right, so some just really basic stuff here. Now what I can do is we've got filters for toning. So if you wanted to find, right, a filter that complemented your picture, I like that, right? Because I like that cool tones. If I'm looking here, see how it's a cooler tone? It's not quite the exact same. That's one of the only things I don't like is that I can't come in here now and get it to look quite the same, right? Because I don't want to warm that up. It's really what you're looking to do is, right, cool down the shadows. Right? It's kind of split tone. You're looking to cool down the shadows, warm up the skin. So what I've found here is I can get this image to look like this, and then what I'm going to do is go into the face tool here, right? So now we have female, and I can actually warm up the skin tone. So we'll do that together. So we'll start up here, face and acne removal. I'm going to crank that up to 100. We don't have any body blemishing, forehead wrinkle, fixing oily face. Let's crank that up. So it's removing some of the shine, dark circles under her eyes. Saw those remove. Got some eye wrinkles. Remove those under her eyes. Right, and this is seasoned to taste. You'll figure out what you like or don't like here. Now, this is where things get interesting. You can do dodging and burning on the face. We do face skin smoothing, body skin smoothing. Kind of smooth out the skin so the toning match, right? So this is always interesting. So what ends up happening sometimes, and it's not intentional, you'll do a job and they'll have face makeup, but then the chest is a different color, right? And it doesn't quite match up. So this is kind of an interesting filter here, or dial, if you will, where you can actually body skin smooth and get things kind of matching, or I'm sorry, skin tone unifying, and get that matching a little bit better. So it's seeing that there was a little bit of green in there, but that was from the shadow. So that one's okay. I don't really need to mess with that. Now, here's where I can warm up skin temperature. So now this allows me to have the warm skin and the cool tone in there, right? So I'm kind of cheating it that way. Now we get into face shape, right? We can make her face wider. We can start messing with her cheekbones. And some of this stuff, right, it's up to you. This is your image, your job, your client. You got to figure out what's right or not right. To me, there's nothing wrong with her face. right? Eyes will brighten those up a little bit. Remember, this is already looking better than my image that I spent over an hour on. So now we can we could say, let's look at her mouth. If we want to make her upper lip a little bit bigger, bottom lip, that's all the rage right now. Give them a little pouty lip, make her mouth a little bit wider, right? That's up to you. Overall size we can increase. Now, here's where I would spend a lot of time editing for doing retouching work. It's like just dodging and burning. It's trying to do this and it starts shaping the way the face looks. Now, women do contouring with their makeup, but sometimes we have to enhance that in post-production. That's why I'm saying this is a more advanced tool. You have to understand this stuff. And so here, this is gonna give me the ability to do some of that contouring in this tool. Okay, so you're seeing how this, like we can make that eye makeup pop, we can make that lip color a little more vibrant, but now they've got makeup presets, which this just blows my mind. So now, look, she's got makeup, it was professionally done, but we can enhance that. Look at that now. That just made her eyes pop, and that's through some dodging and burning where it's making the eyes just pop off the page, okay? All sorts of other presets. Right, but this one I'm kind of falling in love with right now. I like that, and again, we can control the amount. I do like that. Now, as you're looking at this, the image itself, you're seeing her face is clear, but everything else looks soft. Well, that's the way we shot it, right? So we shot through a bunch of stuff, and that's why it looks that way all around her. So her face is already popping a little, but there's no doubt this tool is making it pop even more. But let's go a little bit more. We can add blush. Much, right? Again, everything's seasoned to taste. Kind of like that one. No, maybe not. Maybe that's still too much. Yeah, a little bit of red in there. This would be something we're painting in. Now, the cool part about this is once you get a look you want, you can save this as a preset and you can apply it across the board to all your images. That's amazing. Now they also have, for full body portraits, the ability to shape the body. In my next image, I'll show you the full body, right? Obviously there's not much to shape here on our lower body, hips, waist, chest, that kind of stuff, legs. So this is where we're gonna end on this image. But we can come in here with eyeshadow, right? You can see the changes. If we go to where it was, I don't know, we're just making those eyes pop more and more. So we can control the teeth whitening. So now what I can do I'm just gonna A/B this for you so you can see. And you tell me down in the comments which one you like better. The one I spent an hour and a half on, right? Or the one I just spent like, I don't know, 3 minutes here while I'm talking to you guys, putting this together. And the ability to do this in batch. I mean, that's just unbelievable to me. Now let's just say for whatever reason we wanna mess with her eyebrows. Sorry, I mean, it's never ending. Now we can actually control a bunch of different facets of her eyebrows. I kind of like her originals, we'll leave it there. How easy is this? All right, one more image. Hopefully you guys are digging it. Hey, if you're digging this video and you want to see more videos like it, come on, support the channel. You know, it's how advertisers and sponsors keep working with us. They want to see our channel growth going up. And if you're learning something, smash that subscribe button. Just give it a little. All right, one more image. So now this is a perfect case in point. This is straight out of camera. Okay, so exposure and things are off on this. So now what I'm gonna do is raise exposure. So this is where you're gonna have to do this. Now ideally, sure, I'd love to be doing this in Lightroom and round trip between Lightroom and Evoto to use it for the beauty retouching. I don't know if in a future version they plan on doing that or providing that integration, but it sure would be nice from a workflow perspective, because now when I'm done with this, I have to export this, okay? And here's where, if there's a catch with Evoto, there's where the catch is, right? So here, what you're gonna have to realize is that pricing is by credit. So it's going to cost you per image. But at its highest, it's about 7 cents per image, 6.9 cents per image. They'll give you 5 credits free, so you just go click in the link in the description and sign up to get started. Download it, it's free. I'm working on a free trial, and you can get 5 credits free to get started to see what it'll look like. But each image, the more credits you buy, the less it is. But look, man, you're doing a job, a wedding, a headshot job. What's your time worth? And so this is an easy way for you to save money and quickly provide some impressive results. So keep that in mind, that you will have to export out of here to your format to have this image. But let's keep working this. So I'm gonna cool this down a little bit. And here's where you've got it, like I know I want this to be toned, right? Some way, somehow. But I don't want it to be hokey, right? So I want some simplicity in the tone, meaning I want warm skin and a cooler background. And so you'll start learning on these presets what looks good, what doesn't look good, right? And start realizing, okay, here's how I want this to look, right? And so I'm looking at how this is impacting the skin and everything else. So you come down here. All right, so let's go with Vibe V07. Kind of give me a nice little start there. And what we'll do now is go back and we can cool this down just a little bit, right? Because I like that purple in the background, but I gotta watch her skin, okay? So now let's do a little bit of blacks. All right, so I want a little bit of mood in this image. Okay. So you'll get to this. What I really want to show you is the impact we can now have with the body shaping. And this is, again, one of those things where season to taste. It's up to you. You just need to know what the tool can do. And this is a really powerful tool. Now, the reason I chose this image is because there's a lot of things going on. She's standing in front of a window with crisscross patterns. And if you've ever seen like really bad Instagram models who are clearly body shaping, you start seeing brick that is like being warped, right? It's kind of funny. It's really just really bad looking. Well, this handles all those background distractions, including this kind of mesh cape, really quite well. So what are some of the things we can do? So we can come in here, we can, I thought this was pretty cool. You can enlarge their breast, slim their waist. Now watch what's happening on that waist. Let's zoom in here. It's really handling that background quite well. Slim the waist. We can wider hips. That's not handling it too well. You can see that kind of change on the window there, but that's fine. Slim legs. So this one I thought was impressive. Legs. So look what we're doing here. It's making the legs longer. That's impressive, okay? So we can make legs longer. You can control the overall body shape, make her super skinny. Not that I'm supporting that, right? Or super curvy. So that's interesting there, right? Wider. So there's some things that sometimes you just need a nudge on. Small head, that just looks weird. Neck, arms, thinner arms a little bit. That's incredible to see there and how it's handling the background. And so again, the before after, right? We've made her legs longer, adjusted her waist, adjusted her chest. Boudoir photographers, this is incredible for you guys, especially in the way you work. This is an absolute must-have tool for you so that the way you're selling your clients, you can start doing this stuff. Send them off to get a coffee, send them off to get lunch. They come back in, they're seeing, maybe they're not fully final, right? Because here's where, again, this tool's not gonna help you. Let's just say there's debris back here, like a can. You're gonna have to remove that in Photoshop. The tool's not doing it for you. So there's certain things that the tool's just not meant or equipped to do. From a retoucher's perspective, This is going to save a lot of time, and I'm sure you can come up in your head with a plethora of scenarios that you can use a tool like this. It's pennies on the dollar, and it's going to save you hours upon hours of time. And so, hey man, Evoto, 2 thumbs up. It's an incredible tool. There's some things I'd like to see better integration with Lightroom. That would really make me happier, and maybe those presets not wiping out, right, all the things that you've already done here for the image. But other than that, this is an absolutely incredible tool that you should be in your toolbox. Check it out. Link in the comments. I think you're gonna love it.